Hello, friends, freaks, and fire starters. My name is TBSky, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. It's been a while since I actually played and streamed this game, and indeed a while since I recorded it, so let's try to get back into the swing of things. But fortunately, I've got a whole carnival of extremely well-dressed people to just sort of stand there and look pretty and distract you all from how bad I am at being a YouTuber and a Twitch streamer. So, we are back in Heavensward. We are back in Le Patch content, where we need to figure out where to go next. And I figure I'm just going to follow what the main story quest says for a bit. And then eventually, we will go and find Hildebrand and run around with our boy again. I think that'll be the plan. Let's see. She doesn't have anything to say. And so a new day dawns on our fair city. My Lord the Count is considering writing a chronicle of recent events while the details are still fresh in his mind. I pray he does, for the people should know the price which was paid for this peace. So, searching for missing scions. That seems like a good idea. Fortuitous timing as always, Brick. Tatara was about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then. Absolutely. You'll be pleased to hear that the Riol and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Flamen helped me escape the Crystal Braves in Limsa, only to then disappear? Well, according to Riol, she scrapped aboard a ship bound for Ratzat Han, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. Don't auto-advance, thank you. As for Ida and Papalimo, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places. Riol thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see. And what of Thancred and Minfilia? I'm afraid I've nothing good news to share about those two, but all is not doom and gloom. The good news is we've enlisted the services of Charlie and Scholar, one of the students of Baldassian, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first, we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Brick, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed? In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Knight for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know. Well, okay then. To the congregation of our knights most heavenly. Oh, I see. We've got Final Fantasy VII on the mind, do we? Oh, it's good to see you, Cloud.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities.
I'm not sure he passed so much as I murdered him, but...
This is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop.
Well, they'll probably choose a really good person.
In light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
Don't blame me for being beautiful and
I
turning
could have
heads.
concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
I mean, it is a
It
coup.
has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom.
Oh no.
Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
Can't believe people would be mad at the church after all this.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Shrine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Shrine? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor? Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens.
To be fair, we do kind of need to get rid of Nidhogg. Because, like,
Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength.
Thank you for the subscription. Zazu.
Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Seriously, Estinian, why would you pick up both of them? You idiot. You dumbass. Honestly. Like, how can he do this to me? I am the himbo of this party. He doesn't get to be the idiot. It's my job. Anyway, it is very funny that, like, that Emmerich sort of talks of as like, oh, men and women of the cloth have been harassed in the streets. And it's like, yeah, dude, because we just told them that the church has conned the people into 1,000 years of needless war. It's like, maybe like, maybe that's reasonable, that people are like a little bit, fuck you guys, and fuck your authority, fuck your position in this society.
This game is just to Saul himbos sometimes.
It really is. But it's like, yeah, maybe it isn't surprising that people would be somewhat upset and turn some ire at the church after that. Like, which, like, it sucks for the people who are rank and file, obviously, who aren't privy to that sort of thing, but it's still like, yeah, it's also reasonable for people to reject the authority of the church and to, like, reject people who promulgate the authority of the church, given what we've just learned. But yeah, no, I mean, it's probably going to end in guillotines, but that would perhaps be counterproductive, because we have killed the one guy who needed to be guillotined. I know little of the lands these dragons call home, this annexed shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it, yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? But ere we set forth, Brick and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Thank you, Catsroy, for that subscription. Very well. I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Tatara, Brick. Yeah, I'm sure the people, like, our companions who are running for their lives, they can wait. It's fine. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. A diplomatic mission to annex Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Witnoff happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Ishtola in Eagleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be... Time permitting, as I said. We shall endeavor to join Ishtola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Brick. We've kept this first commander waiting long enough. Right as she was about to tell me who the scholar is. Okay, so what's the deal with this scholar? Why are we tiptoeing around their identity? Why are we playing with this? You are ready then. Good. So am I. The path is long, but known to us. From Falcon's Nest, we shall cross the Western Highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Dravanian forelands. There we can stop and rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Strange. This is only my third visit to Tailfeather, yet the first feels as though it was a lifetime ago. Yeah, it's almost like it's been like a month or something. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil will be at the head of an army. And here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past. Though it was I who first proposed recruiting Ysayle to our cause, I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I'd uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands, men, women, and children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side, she fought in service to that greater good, even unto her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino. Who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit, okay? I see people have brought out the fancy mounts. Yes, of course. We must press on to annex Shrine, if you'll follow me. Oh, it's a Pegasus. I see. Cool. That is a big-ass chocobo. Oh, is that one of the two-people chocobos where you could, like, ride two on them? Cool. Is that a little basket? You're sitting on a little... Aw. That's adorable. That is very cute. That is very cute. Is that a rabbit robot? That's not just me, right? Those are rabbit ears. Off I go, then. 3.1 takes place exactly 2 weeks after 3.0. Really? People have, like, charted that out? God, that elephant is, like, bigger than her.
Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Isael. But this one I do not know.
Pray forgive us for this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I'm come as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and acting leader of the Holy See.
Indeed. You may speak, knight.
For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, but now we know the truth. King Thordan and his knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatoskr, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Isael. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at least last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Isael once did, and we must make that dream a reality as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more before the eyes of my people in Ishgard.
A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer.
May I ask why? 'Cause, like, maybe give her 5 minutes? Like, what? Like, hey, would you like to go to the city full of the place with the angry people who want you dead? No, can't tell. Come on. Like, you don't need to think about that. That's fine. You can just tell me.
This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm.
Then we will wait. After 1,000 years of war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience.
Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime.
So soon? My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. Ah, but you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you further need of our services, we shall continue on to Charlayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing friends. Then I pray your journey is swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alfino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to our word. to your word, rather. Right then. Oh god! Elephant jump scare. Never did I think to see a knight of Ishgard come unto Annick's shrine bearing words instead of steel. Would that the Nath would show the same restraint. Too many children have fallen to their spears and muskets. Jesus. So, it would seem we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she's privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola at Idleshire. Or Idleshire, or... Who knows how it's meant to be pronounced. Idleshire? Really? Okay. Another conspicuously uneventful journey. It would seem we are destined not to be late. No, we're all destined to be late eventually, Alphino. That's just life, you know. Brick, it's good to see you again. I confess I had assumed your business in Annick's shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Ofnir go well? Yeah, as well as can be expected. She must discuss Sir Emmeric's proposal with Heavensward, of course, but she seems amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlene guest? Has she arrived yet? She has. But when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked that you might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on the front bridge. We should be on our way. Okay. Oh, right, I don't have the ether currents here yet. I should probably go find those at some point. Would seem we are early. Shall we wait? Hey, back in Ishgard, what was she trying to tell me? Good question, Alphino. Oh my god. Oh my god, she's adorable!
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
Hang on, Kryl. I recognize that name from somewhere else. It's not... She's... Hang on. Is that then a reference to... Is that a reference to Final Fantasy V? Ah. Okay. So I was right.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryl, who has recently come from the Charlian motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, sir.
Are you flirting with me?
And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Alphino is short.
Miss Kryl and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryl.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking.
Meow. Anyone who hands Alphino a big L on their first meeting is good in my book.
Pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
She has a crystal eye here, too. Of course she does.
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Okay then, let's go see the old lady. I like her, she's fun. Kryl, I mean. Sorry, I just get distracted by landscapes. There is something about this area in particular. Because of, like, it has the default grass texture all over everything, and then, like, these rocks that seem like... Something about this reminds me of bump-mapped video games from, like, the mid-90s? Mid to late 90s? Like, especially stuff like what Shiny Entertainment used to put out, like MDK or Sacrifice. And, like, the mech shooters of the time. Like, they had a sort of similar approach to... There's something similar in the aesthetic of how this map is put together. Oh well. Let's have a proper look at you. So Kryl, okay, so for those who don't know, in Final Fantasy V, one of your main characters is a guy named Galuf, who, like, I won't spoil it. It's been a long time, but I won't spoil it. And he has a daughter who's named Kryl, who eventually becomes one of the playable characters. And Kryl, it's a game that has a job system. So depending on which job you give your characters, they'll change their outfits to one thing or another, like warrior, whatever. And I do believe that the scholar outfit for Kryl, with the scholar job in Final Fantasy V, has the cat ears. Or maybe it's the white mage, one of the two. But yeah, so like I guess that's a reference to that, which makes me wonder if like she doesn't have a dad named Galuf, right? Like, is it just a random name reference, or are they actually going with some actual Final Fantasy V shit here? Who knows? I guess I'll find out. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? You know how she can be. If Kryl does not meet with her approval, then that will be that. Oh, who am I kidding? It'll be fortunate if she does not mistake me for my sister again. I've heard so many stories of Master Matoya. Some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured, they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread. Oh, hello. I see people have lined up. Anyway, Matoya.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryl, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
Cry like what? Like it's hard?
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the signs of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Wait here.
I mean, if you want to help, we're not going to say no.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul, their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
She's saying no.
Well,
Aw,
the poor
darn.
sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock, I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Nothing like a bit of orb pondering to get things going. I don't think he was telefragged into a rock. Yeah. And Eidolon, like, to your comment earlier, I do feel like marrying a girl when you are also a girl, I think that's kind of gay. Like, your wife might be right, honestly. I think you should probably examine, like, yourself and your feelings a little bit. And, like, sort of try and come to terms with the fact that you might, in fact, be a gay. Thancred may be a capable warrior, but he was wounded when last I saw him. If any beasts were nearby when he emerged from the life stream, he would have been hard-pressed to repel them. We had forests like these on the Isle of Val. My grandfather and I used to go to walks together when I could prise him away from his work. It was the least I could do for him, considering everything he's done for me. Taking me in when I was an orphan, raising me as his own, and giving me a name. You didn't think my parents named me Kral Baldessian, did you? Yeah, I guess that's why she's not called something like Agaluga, Fagaruga, or whatever Lalafell like to call themselves. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet, even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kral. I've already prepared several sketches for Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory. A skill I acquired some years ago, for reasons I no longer remember. ADHD vibes. Like, that's like an ADHD kind of thing. It's like, oh no, yeah, I got really good at this. I don't know why, but I propose we split into two pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire the outlying encampments, while Brick and Kral question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Astvath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let's be about it. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Okay, yeah, okay. Feeling a little called out, but okay. Anyway, we'd best get started. Find me when you finish making your rounds. Let's see. Someone said to look at the item description of the sketch, which would be in the key item. Ah, there we go. A surprisingly accurate depiction of the missing Thancred, suggesting that Alphino may have mistaken his life's calling. God, can you imagine Alphino as like a commission artist? Just like posting original pieces to Twitter and like complaining when they don't get a lot of likes, and then occasionally drawing furry porn, and that accidentally becomes his career.
What are we standing around for? This chocobo's just begging to be hunted.
Searching for a friend of yours? Oh, let's have a look then. Nope, I ain't seen him around. Sorry. What's that you got there? A sketch? Yeah, can't say no with the face. You say you're something of a warrior. Heard a tale the other day about a Huron vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself, and with style. Way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of a bleeding ball. Sound like your man? Could you tell me something more than that, or just like, yeah, no, once upon a time there was a guy? Twitch domscriptions went. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're all my subs, that does make me your dom, which... Okay. A Huron man? Well, not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? You say something else? Yeah. I did spy this bloke. One bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look of his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river to the rest of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Axe. Thancred doesn't strike me as much of an axe guy. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what others have found out. We were to meet here, were we not? Just the size difference, Jesus.
My apologies for late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could.
5'11" versus 6 foot, yeah.
Many have made camps in inaccessible locations. Ideal for hunting game, not so for receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Huron hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build did match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. So, you've heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seems rather curious description for one of his kind. You're implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead. Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the livestream as naked as your name day. It's a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? I was pleased to see you. I mean, it's a simple statement of fact.
How, Alphino, you have no game. You just have no game whatsoever. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, man, like, the child with the least riz, like... like, my guy.
Hey, you remember that time when I saw you naked? Wow, I sure loved seeing you naked that one time when you didn't consent to it. Great. Yeah. It's like, my dude, if you see a woman naked and you weren't really supposed to, the thing you do is you shut the fuck up about it. Just like, just a little hint for you in the future is like, you shut the fuck up about it. Forever. Oh my god. Like, that wasn't even prompted. You didn't need to bring it up. Oh my god. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Ryle. Quite right. Given that Alphino seemed to recall the details of my return so vividly, I would rather he did not draw me from memory, talented or not. Honestly, that boy. Some things never change. Yeah, you've always been a loser, Alphino. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Lothastath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone, come along! Desperately trying to move on. Oh, great hunters, we welcome you once more to Lothastath. What do you seek this day? We seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. How curious. The hunters tire of godly sport and pursue mortal prey. No, he's not prey, but a friend gone missing. Good. He's a friend to the Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly? And you're quite certain it was this man? There is no doubt. This fleshling clothed in skins come to us from Somal, lost and weak. He offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh. So skilled a hunter he was, much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to Lothastath not long ago, when he heard that One Mind had summoned our god once more. Ravana has returned. Vidovnir did say that the Nath had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope but to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, great hunters, lest the Nath claim him as a sacrifice. Vroom. Do we have to fight Big Bug Man again? That would be cool. Probably not, but a boy can dream. I do like the way that the bugs' nests are designed, because it does mirror like real-life termite mounds, but I especially like that they have exhausts at the top, because like real termites do that too. Like they build their nests specifically to have, like, so that they draw in cold air from below and then vent it outside from the top on rising plumes of hot air, which is very cool.
Who else could be? Thancred. It could be Thancred. We must hurry.
He hears explosion. Ah, fuck, it's him again. Oh, no, wait. That is another guy. I think I know what guy that is, too. Alfino, we have mounts. Okay, well. It's like a mirror.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Asians forever.
Good evening and have fun, everyone.
Thank you, Kanini.
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Asian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not.
These people came from the 1.0 private servers. Yeah.
So you are the warrior of light. The savior of Eorzea.
And you are default anime main character. Well, except you have facial hair, but you know.
It's a wonder you didn't come sooner. What with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
You're tremendously snarky for someone who I've never met yet.
The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
Just say your name out loud, my guy. Okay, rude. Do I want to do something at some point? Like, do I want to take an action? Ooh, with the facial hair and the eye patch! I love being the warrior of light, the most useless person in any cutscene.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt, but so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light, for we are the warriors of darkness, walkers of a different path, and we shall meet again.
I'm not going to be intimidated by you until you get something other than the shitty default glam, honestly. Like, my guy. obtain some real fashion, then we can talk.
Warriors of Darkness. Really?
Someone's gone through a...
Are you all right?
God, Thancred just showing up with the most fucking time skip ass character design I've ever seen in my life.
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
Yeah, but also, dude, like, seriously. It's like, you didn't have to go, like, you're doing too much, Thancred. Like, the eye patch thing would have been enough. This outfit would have been enough. The goatee is too much. It's one thing too much. Like, you should have picked a few. Like, we need to get this man a shave, at the very least. Oh, okay. Because, like, the hair is long. Has he even been gone that long? Like, the hair is long. He's got, like, the goatee is too much. Like, the goatee is the thing that's, like, maybe a bit too much. But, oh my god, like, with the red thing wrapped around his leg, and, like, the knives that are different sizes, and, like, the little trailing things, and the shoulder guard. Like, he looks like he's trying to cosplay an exceptionally flamboyant pirate, essentially. Like, it's just a little bit too much, right? Because it's designed for because the way it's designed visually, right? Thancred, like, most of the Scions, we talked about this with Y'shtola as well, most of the Scions used to be pretty boring, right? Like, they used to be very sort of generic, standard, very much dressed in much the same clothes. We are an organization of NPCs who do thing, whatever. Like, very, very sort of that kind of outfit. And so what the outfits have been doing as they've been getting updated for Heavensward is that, okay, let's try and individualize them, right? Let's try and give these people some looks that are specific to them, like something that expresses their personality better. And I think they did a really great job with, like, Alphino, for example, with his little suit and tie, so serious, like a formal overcoat, because he constantly wants to be, like, the leader position. He constantly wants to be, like, he looks formal, he looks sort of scholarly, intellectual. And, like, Y'shtola, who's, like, serious and very cool. She has, like, the measuring instruments, and then a little bit of thigh action, right? Because, like, she is a little spicy. She's a little bit of a sassy kitty. And then...
Mr. John, Final Fantasy XIV, there is voiced by Gendry from GOT, Joe Dempsey.
Oh, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but that's cool to know. And then Thancred, it's like, what if everything? What if all of the things all at once? What if just every possible thing? Just all of it. What if all of it? Which is like, because my sense of him as a character is that he is... Like, my sense of him as a character, at least certainly from what I saw in the patch content, is that he's a bit of a dandy, right? Like, Thancred is a little bit of a ladies' man. He's a little bit of a charmer. He's a little bit of, oh, I do a lot of personal grooming, and I'm sort of very handsome and pretty, kind of. That was sort of the vibe I got off of him. Before. And this right here, it's like, that's not quite that. This is more... What if, like, this is less sort of charming, suave ladies' man, and more like sort of hot, horny adventurer pirate guy, right? So yeah, like, I do think probably if he got a haircut, like if we got him a bit of a haircut, maybe shaved that nonsense off his face, and got him a pair of knives that actually fit each other, that would probably sort of balance it out. Because he does need to look groomed, I think.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's-forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the altogether.
Aw.
Eventually, I managed to fashion from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
The little squirrel. Aw.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom Ishgard spoke,
and decided to overdo it.
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement.
No, Thancred, no, you weren't. Have you seen your outfit, you absolute fashion disaster? No, you weren't. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, refinement? What? You have a fucking... You have a bandana around your leg. What do you mean refined? Look at your boots. What? No! It's not refined. Come on, my guy. No! Oh my god.
From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more.
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed warriors of darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the warrior of light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Unless, of course, that flashback was a lie. You know, could be. Oh, hang on. What's happening? Oh! Oh, the Nutkin, thank you. Just in case I get naked at some point. Yeah, would be good to have them around. Ooh, I love that collar. Yeah, that's really good. Like, that works, like, especially with, like, a rogue ninja thing. Cool. Anyway, Thancred, so we need to get you to a hairdresser. Like, at least just... Did you cut that yourself? What did you do? I know what you're thinking.
Consistent across the entire story is that the Echo is always true visions of the past.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I know what you're thinking, but really, you don't need to worry. It'll only lend credence to my tales of heroism. Besides, battle scars are to maidens what loose morals are to gentlemen. A definitive bonus. Yes, but also, at least a hairdresser. Like, please, maybe lose the trailing thing in green, Like, why would you go with green and then red at the same... Okay. Twould seem the mystery of the axe-wielding cure has been laid to rest. I should have known better than to think Thancred ever stooped to using such an inelegant weapon. Hey, come on! I used to be a warrior! Come on! Hey! That was mean! But then, how was I to know there was not one vagabond wandering the Chocobo Forest, but two? He knew us. He knew you. Did he walk in our memories as we walked in his? Blessed with the power of the Echo and driven to put down primals. Despite his declaration that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with our own. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them for our cause. I recall no such adventurers, and would not soon forget their like, nor would any others, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how I found Brick. Ah, the memories. It seems like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers have simply been traveling the land slaying primals without our knowledge. It would imply gross negligence of our part. I mean, to be fair, we were kind of on the run from a national government there for a while, and stuck fighting dragons in the high north, so... Like, there was a little window of time, I think, where they could have... Speculation will avail us naught. There's far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vilothnir must be informed. The news will only render her more receptive to Sir Emeric's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony is giving me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Minfilia. Wait, Minfilia is missing? I thought she escaped with Brick. I shall explain on the road. Much have happened in your absence. Yeah, there's a few things to catch you up on. For example, did you know we ended the Dragon Song War? Well, kind of, almost. Nilhogg is still hanging out, but like mostly. I killed the Pope is what I did, actually. That's the main thing I want you to know, Thancred. I killed the Pope.
I had not thought to see these again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard.
My thanks, Vilothnir, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Nath, has again been laid low.
Truly. Once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fail. You have our deepest thanks.
With it we could take credit. The god fell by another's hand.
Another? Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well.
Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation?
As promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years I have mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot, until a child of Ishgard came on to me. For want of warmth, she wrapped herself in a dream. Yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed, and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe. Such is the folly and the glory of man and of dragon. He hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light.
Then you accept Sir Emeric's invitation?
Let it be known that I, Vilothnir, shall journey on to Ishgard on behalf of my people.
We are honored to receive your answer, and will convey your words to our allies without delay.
And I'm sure her visit to the city will go over without any incident whatsoever.
It is happening, Azael. Would that you were here to see it.
Yeah, good things always happen when it's raining. And it's
Even
dark.
as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another. Honorable men, to whom Sir Emmerich was no hero, but a scheming patricide.
Oh, that's a knife. I will say, Emmerich, you should...
Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood.
You should probably have, like, more security with you than that.
Men, whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
What's the point of all of that armor, then? Oh my god, dude! Tell me that we have, like, a Phoenix down this time. Like, this can't be how Emmerich goes out. That would suck. It would actually be kind of rule, but it would suck.
Fortunately, the journey afforded us ample time to brief Thancred on recent events. So you slew a handful of primals, chatted with the Emperor of Garlemald, uncovered the truth behind a 1,000-year war, thwarted a megalomaniacal archbishop's ambitions, and then rode home on the back of the Father of Dragons. Does that about sum it up?
Yeah, no, that's most of it. Also, I became a Dark Knight, and murdered, like, a bishop who was crazy because she was trying to kill her child. That also happened. Oh, and I had a sort of homoerotic relationship with a spirit embodying my own repressed anger. That was also a thing.
Right, let us not keep Sir Emmerich waiting. Are you quite well, Thancred? Yes, quite well, forgive me. You've given me rather a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Ishgardians and the Dravanians, and our friends are nowhere to be found. 'Twould seem there's no end to our troubles. We can but face them head on, one at a time. For now, we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks and leave others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you as they found me. In time, we will find Ida and Papalina and Minfilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we'll look back on together.
Y'shtola, there's a limit to how much force, like, you can't tempt Apollo like that. Stop throwing him the beach ball.
Pray do not misunderstand. I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wished that I had rejoined our grand adventure at one of its more triumphal moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is rather less than celebratory. But I have no doubt that I'll enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough.
Stop with the throwing of the beach ball to Apollo!
And you may rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt.
Thancred, you going into the very hilt is how you keep getting in trouble with women.
I know you will. So then, to the congregation.
Well, this seems like a reasonable place, I think, to cut an episode. It's like Emmerich has been stabbed rather severely. Thancred has committed a fashion disaster. Good God, I hope he goes to the hairdresser at some point. And everything seems to be fine. Everything's gonna be cool, because Emmerich is fine. He's just lightly stabbed. I've survived that plenty of times. So we're just gonna go talk to him, and everything's gonna be nice. And if you want to see how that shakes out, you're gonna have to come back for the next episode over on YouTube. If you want to watch the VOD of these entire streams, you're gonna have to head on over to Twitch, where you can become a subscriber, and that'll give you the full stream VOD, including all the stuff that happens between recordings. If you want to watch episodes on YouTube early before everyone else, become a member over there.
And I think that's it. Yeah, join the Discord or something. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to be kind to one another. Have solidarity with those who are worse off than yourselves. And may the tides of history wash gently over us all.